story about how we met. I'm not from Louisiana. When I moved here and I started LuLaRoe, I did not know a local retailer at all. I didn't know they existed. And I met Lesa. We actually onboarded within the same week. But when we were both in the queue, both of us had reached out to a local vendor event. I actually reached out first. I ended up putting my deposit down first, and Lesa called, and the gentleman said, "Oh, there's already another LuLaRoe retailer. Here's her name." So Lesa calls me up. "Hi, I'm Lesa Courville. Hey, so you want to share a booth together?" And you guys think about that. It's what I love about LuLaRoe is we are all family, and we could have easily said, that's not good for business. But Lesa is like a sister to me now, and we shared that booth. We got booths side by side, and it just so happened that we had very similar onboarding dates, and we have been accountability partners and running partners ever since. So that vendor event really brought us together, and that's what Lesa is going to talk to you about. So I love you.
So I don't know why you put me behind Doug and Kim. That's awesome. Isn't she? I mean, y'all have to be patient with me. I'm going to have to look at my phone because I don't have a screen to, do some bullet points. But anyway, my name is Lesa Courville, and I live in Denham Springs, Louisiana. I'm right outside of Baton Rouge. And whenever I first signed, I signed April 16th, I think it was 16th or 17th of 2016. And I talked to my husband before I signed, and I said, "Hey, there's this brand called LuLaRoe, and I want to sign. Don't ask too many questions. I'm just going to use this amount of money. It's only going to be online. I'm not doing anything in home. You don't have to worry about anybody coming in our house. It's only online." Oh boy, I was wrong. I immediately onboarded on my birthday in June. I did not launch until mid-July because my husband and I were on vacation for 2 weeks with our kids. And when I came back, I had all these boxes. I was so excited, and I hit the ground running. Shortly after, I went to him and said, "Hey, I kind of need people in the house. I need to get out of the house, but I have to have you help me." For those of you who do not know, I was in a bad car accident in 2015. If y'all tell my doctor I'm wearing these shoes, I'm going to be very upset.
I was noticing that.
Yes, I'm not supposed to be wearing these. But anyway, he was so supportive, and he said, "Whatever you need." You lied to me, but it's okay. I'm going to support you. We'll do whatever. So the first thing is that I want to speak on vendor events and pop-up boutiques because I do both, and I think they really go hand in hand. The only difference that I find between the two are, one, a vendor event is you're paying to set up somewhere, and they are advertising for you. And then with the mobile boutique, I bring my trailer somewhere. I'm having to do the advertising and letting people know where I'm going to be. So some of the reasons why I feel vendor events and mobile boutiques are extremely important, I'm telling y'all, this is extremely key, and Kim just spoke on this, that you need to do more than just online. One-on-one interaction is key. You get to know your customers on a personal level. They get to know you on a personal level. You get to experience them, see how different the materials feels. I don't know about y'all, but I love feeling some of these materials. I have a Carly that I sleep in because it's super soft. It is my nightgown. So my husband doesn't think it's sexy, but but anyway, it's just the experience that you have with these customers on a one-on-one basis. Then explain to them about the brand, how we only have 5,000 of the same patterns. The next thing is we are all in the business to provide for our families. So sales are very, very important. But I'm not talking about the sales that you're going to gain at the event. I'm talking about sales that you're going to have after as well. Some of my biggest selling days, should I say, my biggest selling days were a vendor event or a mobile boutique that I have done. I set goals for myself. I am very goal-oriented. Money does not drive me. I set goals, and I'm going to do whatever it takes. I will not sleep until I meet my goal. Y'all, it's crazy. My husband's like, "Are you coming to bed?" I'm like, "No, I have $500 to do today because I have the goal for the day." But I cruise qualified at one vendor event for a weekend, guys. Wow. I'm not saying this is going to happen for everybody, but I'm telling you the possibilities are there. You never know what's going to happen until you get out there. I wrote this down because I know I wouldn't remember. I thought about it last night. One thing to remember is you can't put a dollar amount on the relationships you build and the repeat customers that you will gain from the vendor event. Y'all, it's amazing as many people as I have come in contact with all the events and the boutiques that I get to do on a regular basis. It's amazing. From the vendor events, people have signed up on my team. because they had no idea what LuLaRoe was. Then they started following me and they were like, wait, I think I could do this too. I have amazing customers, and I have booked tons of pop-ups. Pop-ups are my favorite. The first steps in finding a vendor event is you need to look at your local town webpage. There are tons of different web pages for all different towns, because I don't just search my own, I search other towns as well, because I will travel. And the next thing is churches and fairs. They have them all the time. Look at every single possibility. If you pass a church, there's a Catholic church in Baton Rouge that every time I pass and they have a fair, I'm like, man, why didn't I think about that? What do? I take my little notebook and I write it down, and then I'm going to reach out for the next time. Try to get in as soon as you can. You don't want to call the week before and say, hey, you got a spot, can I come in? Is this going to work? It's not going to work. Somebody else is going to be there. But the one thing that I have learned over time is if they tell you that the event is full, make sure that you give them your name and number and say, listen, I know that something may happen, something may fall through. If this does happen, can you please reach out to me? I would love to, be a part of the event. It happened a couple months ago. Somebody was unable to attend. They kept my number and they reached out and I was able to participate. If I did not give them that information, somebody else would have gotten that opportunity. Also, I know this doesn't go with steps in finding a vendor event, but if you do not have a local group only, you need to get one. It is more of an intimate setting on your computer on the groups instead of your VIP, because my VIP group is for all over the states. You don't want to have people on your big VIP going, man, I really wish I lived close to her. So if I have, my trailer, my mobile boutique is called Row on the Go. So if I post something about Row on the Go, I will put it in my VIP saying, oh, I'm heading out today. But I will put in my locals group, Row on the Go is going to be here. If you're in the area, please, I would love for you to stop by. Or the first person to stop by and see me will get a pair of free leggings. Who doesn't want them? And believe it or not, they show up, I promise you. What should you do to stand out? Y'all, would you hold up my slippers, please? Those are my unicorn slippers. I am supposed to wear flats, so all events, I wear those bad boys. I would love to wear these beauties all the time because I love shoes, but my doctors won't let me. So I wear those, and I cannot tell you how many times I get stopped and people say, I love your slippers. And I say, have you heard of LuLaRoe? It is an open conversation for people to be able to talk to you, or anybody who looks you in the eye, you can start a conversation with. So if somebody's going to ask me about slippers, I'm going to ask you if you know LuLaRoe. So slippers that's something that I do. Another thing is wear a minimum of 3 pieces of LuLaRoe. When you have an event, when you wear the 3 pieces, make sure you're going to have them at the event. I made the mistake once where I wore a Madison and I didn't bring my Madisons to the event, and everybody wanted a Madison that day. So I was like, let me give you a card. Guess what? You know how many I could have sold that day? So you sell what you wear. So like this new outfit, Deanne wore this, and I'm sorry, but I'm loving it. I don't know how y'all feel about this, but I'm like, this is my new thing. I have a vendor event in a couple weeks, and I am totally wearing this, and I will bring all these pieces. Another thing is I play music whenever I have my vendor event. I do play music at my pop-ups, but this is more for a vendor event. Believe it or not, I've had customers say, man, I really like it. It's soft music. Sometimes the noise in the background, it's so loud depending on what location you're at. Playing music, I've heard great things about it, so guess what? I'm going to do it. People like it, I'm going to do it. Another thing is candy. I always have a table that I leave hard candy in a bowl. I don't know about y'all, but if I see candy, I'm grabbing. So when people pass, even if they weren't planning on stopping at my booth, they're going to grab their hands and I'm going to say, hi, have you heard of LuLaRoe? I'm telling you, it works. It does every single time. Another thing is do not sit down. If you sit down during your vendor events, you're standing away and you're not approachable. So every time I have one, I'm always standing at the end of whatever booth size that I have, and as people are walking, I always have a pair of leggings. And I'm like, hi, have you heard of LuLaRoe? Would you like to feel these leggings? I understand we're not a leggings company, but that is a conversation piece right there. And once they say, no, man, these feel great, I'm like, well, you should feel all the other materials that we have in all these different sizes. So you have to be creative whenever you do things to draw people in. Let's see. If somebody passed your booth and they're not close enough, to be able to feel the leggings, always make eye contact. I know I said that a few minutes ago. And also be creative. Being creative, you can use somebody else's ideas and tweak it to make it your own. I'm telling you, buy slippers and do the vendor event thing. I don't care, whatever it's going to draw people in. I started wearing it because of my back, and now I wear them everywhere. If I'm on the LuLaRoe cruise, I wear them at night. Ask Monica. Every night I change clothes and I put my LuLaRoe slippers on and I walk around. Every home pop-up, everything that I have at my house, I wear my unicorn slippers. I'm known for the unicorn slippers, and yes, people try to buy them for $100 and I don't let it happen. My husband said, you could sell those things. For things to bring for vendor events, make sure you write this down. Stand-up mirrors. I don't always have a place where people can try on their clothes. So I always bring one so in case somebody wants to try on their stuff after on top of their clothes. Depending on the size of the vendor event, you do not want to have a try-on section because let me tell you, it is hectic. So many people are in your booth, and as much as I would love people to try on, it's just not feasible for what's going on. But if you do have an area where it's a smaller vendor event and not so much traffic, you can have one outside and inside. Not everybody's going to want to go in the dressing room, so make sure you have another one on the outside. Business cards. Y'all, I don't know about y'all, but I have business cards in my pocket every single day. And I actually gave one out earlier. I see her sitting down over there. She needed a jacket. But anyway, I hand out my business cards, and at the very bottom of my business cards for vendor events and pop-ups, I put a money amount and I put a heart around it. It's just something I do. It's Lula Cash for them. Anybody who comes into my vendor event and purchases something, I speak to them, they're passing by, I tell them, hey, here's my business card. If you join my VIP group, your very first purchase with me, you will be able to use this $10, $15 in Lula Cash. And they say, really? I said, absolutely. And make sure you message me and tell me what vendor event you found me at. I said, and then that's how you will be able to redeem it. And what I do, and people are going to say, well, how many people? I mean, they could use it over and over. I have a spreadsheet for each event that I have, and so when they tell me what vendor event they used it for, I then go and find that vendor event on my spreadsheet, put it under, and I highlight their name. So if something ever comes up again, I know that that person's already used the Lula Cash, which nobody's tried to use it twice, but I still have it just for my record. And also, so that I will know what vendor events I had most interactions with and what, really worked. This is my first time to speak in front of people, y'all, so I'm so sorry. Let's see, card swipers. Everybody knows you need your card swiper, but LuLaRoe has maintenance, and the system may go down, so make sure you use Square. I have the system. I don't use it unless it's for an emergency, but you always want to have a backup. Always have people come to your events to help you. I now have an assistant, so she does come with me. She's coming with me to my next one. She's all excited. But when you have people come, make sure they're dressed in LuLaRoe and that they know the product. I understand that these people, may not know as much as you do about it, and that's fine, but they need to know at least the styles. They need to know, a little more about it. My husband has learned a lot. He says his favorite is the Carly, and he wears a 2XL. That's what he says. Your LuLaRoe calendar. Your LuLaRoe calendar should be with you everywhere you go, not only just vendor events. I bring mine everywhere because you never know who you're going to meet and who's going to want to host a pop-up while you're out at the grocery store. Now that I'm not working, y'all, and I'm doing LuLaRoe full-time, I go all over town. I'm always shopping, or I'm going here, there, and the other, trying to finish decorating my house, and I'm always handing out business cards. And I booked a pop-up with the lady, and I was like, sure, I have my calendar. Hold on, let me go get it. So I ran out and got my calendar. But the reason why you need to bring it for vendor events is for the same, obviously, is pop-ups. That's why you want to have extra people there to help you so that when somebody wants to book a pop-up, you can schedule and your booth is still being ran. So you have that backup. I say 2 people help unless it's a big vendor event. I've had 4 people at a time for the bigger shows, but the more the merrier. And who doesn't love free clothes? My girlfriends will do anything for free clothes. Let's see. LuLaRoe signs. This is a big thing for us. I had one big banner that said LuLaRoe, and my husband said, no, you need to buy another one. And I said, why is that? He said, I can't tell you how many times during these shows women are passing going, hey, isn't that thing that people talk about on Facebook? Because they recognize the color and they recognize the logo. So now I have one on the front, and then I always have one on the side or even the back, depending where I'm having my event. So that is, you know, a sign so people can see LuLaRoe and then come over and, you know, stop. Bring as much inventory as you can. I understand I have almost 4,000 pieces. Y'all, it's hard, I'm not gonna lie. I have an 18-foot trailer and we jammed that thing packed full of my inventory. And I understand not everybody can bring everything, but just bring everything that you can. I have Z-racks. And so at home, my Carleys are all on one Z-rack and I don't have the bar at the bottom, the double rack. But when we get to the vendor event, my husband pulls up the racks, we add the bar, and I put skirts. So I try to jam as much as I can on the racks to be able to, you know, accommodate everybody for all the styles, because I've been to events where I said, oh, you know what, I'm not going to bring this, this, and this, I'm going to bring just my top sellers, and guess what they asked for? The stuff you didn't bring. It happens every time. Another thing is shopping bags. Shopping bags, obviously you need them for when people purchase. I originally bought bags with no LuLaRoe name on them, and my husband said, what are you doing? And I said, oh, I bought these little cheap bags because I'm very frugal, first of all. And he said, Lisa, why would you do that? You need bags with the name on it. And I said, oh, they're out of stock. They're out of stock. I gotta wait till they come in. He said, well, find them. Call around and ask other consultants if you can get some bags. So I was able to find some for the very first show. What I didn't realize was when the people walk away with all their stuff, somebody around the corner is going, where did you find that? LuLaRoe's here? I didn't even know they were here. So you have that as free advertisement. You didn't have to do anything except spend a couple extra pennies on these LuLaRoe bags. And the next thing, and actually the last thing for what you need, is a money box. We use money bags, don't do it. It's too much of a hassle. Get a money box so that you can organize your money and it's gonna be a smoother and quick transaction. And the vendor events results that I wanna let you know, I have gained amazing customers from all these events. I have a lady that even travels 45 minutes to my pop-ups when I have one on a Saturday. She will bring whoever, but she's like, I'm gonna travel. I love your inventory. You have a great selection, but I'm gonna travel. So when's your next one? I said, you don't have to have a party to come see me. All you have to do is reach out and say, hey, I'm coming. You're welcome. I'm home now. You can come anytime. Another thing is my sales have grown significantly. I always set goals for myself, and I've always, of course, I will not be on that ship, y'all. That ship is amazing. I was on both cruises last year. Monica and I went on the second when we left our husbands at home, and we were able to enjoy each other together. But I'm telling you, if you can do it, it's amazing. My goals now have exceeded, and some of my goals are stupid, I'm just going to be honest. I'm a workaholic, but I am going to strive to do whatever I can, because I told my husband when I resigned, I was going to make more money than him. Now, don't you think I'm not going to get there. I will get there, I promise you. And the last thing is the amazing friends. Y'all, Monica and I are the best of friends because of a vendor event. So, of course, why would I not speak on a vendor events, right? But anyway, and another thing, one more thing that I'm thinking about. Other vendor events, they have all these vendors. Yes, there's something else that they're selling, but go get to know those vendors, because I have a really good friend of mine. He makes a lot of money selling flags. Y'all, these people will die over these flags. He called me about 2 weeks ago and he said, Lisa, there is a vendor event. It's in another state. I'm so sorry, Matt's gonna have to take off work and come with you. But we have an opening, and I told him, I have the right person for the job. I said, when is it? I'll do it. Whatever it is, I'll cancel. It just so happens to be during leadership in a couple weeks. I'm not missing leadership. I had to turn it down. I got off the phone and I have tears rolling down my face, and Matt's like, who died? I was like, I can't do a vendor event, I'm so upset. And he said, Lisa, don't you worry, I will call you back. But the point of me saying that is they do vendor events all the time. They can show you where to, who to call, what places you need to, do, because I want to do big vendor events and I want to do smaller ones as well. But for him to call me, that meant so much, so I knew right there that our friendship was good. But anyway, I just wanted to say, appreciate y'all letting me speak, and I enjoyed it.